Thank you, Michigan. Thank you for believing in me and yourselves.
Now on Fox 17 Morning News, the race for governor now set. Tudor Dixon winning the Republican nomination. The reaction from the 4 other candidates and the historic nature of this race.
We have a hot and humid day with showers and storms, and some could be on the stronger side, plus dangerous Lake Michigan conditions. We have a lot to talk about in my full 7 day.
A major upset in the 3rd District congressional race with John Gibbs defeating Peter Meijer. We have a look at that and some other races across West Michigan.
From the station with the most local news in our West Michigan, Fox 17 Morning News at 4:30 starts right now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Tessa DiTiro.
And I'm Michelle Dunaway. Good morning. It is 4:30 right now on your Wednesday, day after Election Day. Hopefully everybody is recovering this morning, at least in the newsroom. And we've got Candace with us this morning. Today, all eyes on the weather. There is potential for dangerous heat and some pretty severe weather. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning. Yes, a really active day. We have a lot happening in our forecast this morning. We're still calm and quiet. Definitely partly to mostly cloudy to start for the day, but we will see these scattered showers and storms later on. Right now this morning, a lot of them in northern Michigan, as you can see, these are pushing towards Cadillac and Traverse City, but we're going to work into the warm sector of this system, and when this cold front comes through this afternoon, this evening, that can spark off some of those stronger storms for us that can lead to some damaging conditions. So we are in the slight and marginal risk for severe weather. The slight and the yellow there, that is our 2nd tier out of 5. So we have high winds, hail being a concern, and an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. So download the Fox 17 weather app now so you can stay connected with us later throughout the entire day as we watch any potential showers or storms move through. Temperatures this morning, lower 70s, upper 60s for you. We still are pretty sticky and muggy, upper 60s with these dew points, and we are going to continue to stay hot and muggy today. A heat advisory even from 1 to 6 p.m. as we could feel like we are close to 100, maybe even 105 degrees. So definitely need to stay cautious through this heat. Breezy winds in general already this morning. This will be the case through the entire day, and that is causing dangerous Lake Michigan conditions. Of course, showers and storms roll in, not a great lake day, but something that we still need to be aware of with a high and moderate beach has a risk, rip current risk, small craft advisory. So we have waves building 5 to 7, 4 to 6 feet. So definitely not a day to be along the lakeshore. Here's a look at your Wednesday as a whole. Those showers and storms mostly in northern Michigan this morning, starting to become more isolated early on this afternoon and really pushing in to our region throughout the afternoon and early evening hours. So we're going to break this down for you on Future Track hour by hour coming up in my full 7 day.
Candace, thank you. The 2020 primary now in the books in Michigan, and several candidates are celebrating this morning.
That includes John Gibbs winning the GOP nomination for the 3rd Congressional District against Peter Meijer. The Associated Press called this race a little more than an hour ago. Gibbs was endorsed by former President Trump. He won the nomination with 52% of the vote, beating Peter Meijer by 4 points in a race considered to be a toss-up. While he knows he faces a challenge in November, he says he's ready.
I believe that from here on out, we're facing a challenge as well with November with the Democrat. I think it's going to turn out very favorably for us. I think we're going to have a very good strategy for that.
Gibbs will face off against Democrat Hillary Scholten in November.
Congressman Meijer released a statement shortly after the race was called for Gibbs, saying in part, this was a hard-fought primary, and I want to thank everyone in West Michigan for their support. Representing my hometown in Congress has been a tremendous honor for which I will always be grateful. Another person celebrating this morning, Tudor Dixon, who won the gubernatorial nomination for the party, beating out 4 other candidates.
Now, that race was called just before 10 o'clock last night. Dixon won 41% of the vote, beating out other Republican candidates, Kevin Rinke, Garrett Soldano, Ralph Rebrand, and Ryan Kelly. Dixon spoke to supporters at the Amway Grand Hotel last night. She thanked them and said it's time for a new vision for Michigan.
We have all suffered because Gretchen Whitmer's policies stopped us from doing what the people of Michigan do best, from providing for our families, strengthening our communities, working hard, and every day working to make Michigan the best place in the world to live. Friends, we can get there again. We just need a governor with the plan, the vision, and the leadership to get us there. We don't need any more half-hearted promises from lifelong politicians. We need someone focused on our moms, on our dads, on our children, and on our future.
Dixon now goes on to face Governor Whitmer in the November general election. It will be the first time two women from different parties will face off for governor in our state.
Shortly after that race was called for Dixon, Garrett Soldano spoke to supporters at a watch party in Kalamazoo, saying he was grateful for all their accomplishments.
I didn't win the race, but we won as a people. If you really reflect back on everything that we've been able to accomplish over the last 2 years and 4 months, it has been simply unbelievable, magical on what we've been able to do.
Speech, Soldano said it's time to support and rally behind Tudor Dixon. Kevin Rinke also making a statement on Twitter saying in part, quote, while tonight's results are not what he had hoped for, the people of Michigan have decided on another candidate. My hope for the state of Michigan remains unchanged, and I look forward to continuing our family's work of bettering the state we love so much.
And Governor Whitmer's communications team releasing a statement on Dixon's win, saying in part, quote, Tudor Dixon has made clear that she will drag Michigan backward, while Dixon has focused on her campaign on attracting support from special interests and political insiders. Governor Whitmer has been working to earn support from Michiganders by doing what she has always done, working with anyone to get things done.
Meanwhile, the governor kicked off her campaign in Grand Rapids.
She was at the Kent County Democratic Party's headquarters addressing canvassers there. She highlighted accomplishments like investments in education and thousands of jobs that have come into the state. Whitmer also focused on hot-button issues like her restraining order on Michigan's 1931 abortion ban. She emphasized that their work is far from over.
Elections have consequences. We've seen that front and center, whether it is around keeping our kids safe in schools or it is around our efforts to limit our carbon footprint and address climate change or simple acts of reproductive rights or voting rights. It's all very much in flux. These are consequences of past elections. That's why this one is no different. In fact, the stakes might just even be higher.
Whitmer also criticized the GOP candidates for their rhetoric, saying they contributed to fears and anxieties about election security. Governor Whitmer ran unopposed in yesterday's primary. And another Trump-endorsed candidate won his primary last night. Republican John Molinar beat Republican Thomas Norton by a 30-point margin. He will go on to face Democrat Jerry Hillard in the general election. Now, they have faced each other in both 2018 and 2020. Molinar won both times.
Meanwhile, several Michigan counties report delays in their primary results because of an issue with some modems. 18 counties report delays, and officials in Wayne County blame voluntary voting system guidelines for a decision from AT&T to no longer support 3G modems. Unclear how long this delay will last, but counties affected by the delay should hope to work through this morning.
And we will have continuing coverage of these primary elections all morning long. Stick with us on air and online. And of course, those results will be scrolling along the bottom of the screen as they continue to come in. It is 4:38 now, still to come.
Voters in Kansas went to the polls as well yesterday to make their voices heard on a few key issues, including abortion rights. We take a look at this coming up.
And Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi making a visit to Taiwan despite warnings from Chinese officials. The purpose of her visit next.